Welcome everybody. Since we have last posted, the SAG-AFTRA strike is over. Congratulations to all
Oh,
actors who were on strike. Had to go through, I don't even know how many months it was, something ridiculous.
it was a
But
hundred and something days.
geez, anyways, congratulations on getting what you are worth. We support everyone on strike.
And also to anyone who borrowed our dragons during the strike, we currently can not find Vagar. So if anyone could please bring back Vagar, that would be really great. Thank you.
They,
That's the announcement.
Vagar, your mom's here to pick you up for this afternoon.
Vagar, your mom's here to
Please
pick
come
you up, and we don't
please come
have
to the front
you.
office. Please come to the front office. Gather your
So
supplies. Yeah.
if
We
someone could
we
please return Vagar to the dragon pit, that would be really great.
that
But
would
congrats
that'd
to everyone
be
on strike. But
yes,
here we
yes.
are, episode 3, House of the Dragon. And today I will be doing the summary because with each episode, as you can probably tell by this point, we're going to be switching back and forth of who does it. So, episode 3, Royal Hunt.
Oof.
Whew. So we got more of a time jump. It's 3 years later, and Allison has had Aegon, and she is pregnant again. Boo. And
That was fast.
uh, God bless America. She is pregnant again, and they are having a big festival, and they're having like a Lord's dinner for political reasons, and mostly to celebrate Aegon's birth is most likely what it is for. But we meet
What do you mean?
Jason and Tywyston Lannister, who are on the council, and one of the Lannisters is the Master of Ships, who brings his two sons, Harwin Strong, a knight,
Oh,
and his
not
other
not
son,
not just a night.
the hottest
The
knight.
the let's be real. Okay, so we've all had our crushes in our designated star men, right? Throughout Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon up until this point. I don't care if I make enemies by saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Harwin Strong is the hottest character, the hottest man. And I'm gonna stand by that because his character is amazing. And also he is just he is he's it. He's it for me. That's it. He's it for me. And so sorry, real quick. I drew in my notes for this
Mm.
episode. I put Harwin Strong, and then like a middle schooler who's kicking her feet in the air and giggling, I put a shit ton of hearts all around it.
Maybe he'll sign your yearbook. And then
Anyways,
sadly, we
continue,
do have to
continue.
get to his brother with the foot fetish. We can't all be
We
the
all can't be
oldest
winners.
sibling. I don't even want to call him by his name. I hate this man so much. His nickname is
We could
Dubfoot.
just let's call
So
him.
I will be saying Dubfoot.
I think we just could call him Foot Fetish Man. Honestly, let's
Foot
just cut to
fetish
the
man.
chase. Foot Fetish Man. That's who he is. That's what it's all about.
And then we cut to Rhaenyra playing her human iPod on shuffle on the same
on
song
on loop.
over and over and over again. And I think Allison comes to make a reconnection with her, is just trying to be like, hey, come hang out with me and your dad. I know it's weird, but your dad really wants to hang out with you. And Rhaenyra's like, mm. But they go out anyway, and they are going to the royal forest on the royal hunt to where only the king can hunt. And they're in the carriage on the way there, and there is a little awkward moment where they're talking about Rhaenyra, getting married, growing up, having kids, all that. And Rhaenyra is like, I'd rather not do that. And then Allison goes, well, Aegon was quick and no fuss when Rhaenyra's mother has died in childbirth, her grandmother died in childbirth, and her great grandmother died in childbirth.
Yeah, it's
But let's ignore the elephant in the room, Allison.
let's
And Rhaenyra gets hit on by creepy Lannister, and then she's like, fuck this, I'm out of here. after her dad yelled at her in front of everyone, which I don't blame her. I would want to leave too.
Yeah, she was right.
And then Otto says there's a white hart, which is kind of like a white deer. It's the best way I can describe it. But the white
Yeah,
hart in means royalty in Game of Thrones. It's something that I think even the old gods believed in to basically mean this person is royalty, this person is amazing. Yay, good for them.
hooray.
And Viserys is drunk and he makes fun of
Smashed.
lots of people at the party. And Otto brings up the idea of wanting to marry Aegon and Rhaenyra so the family doesn't fall apart. And Rhaenyra is off on a little adventure with Sir Criston Cole, her knight in shining armor, for now.
Mhm.
And they're camping out, and she sees a boar. Well, actually, the boar comes and attacks them. And Rhaenyra ends up taking out all of her anger out on this boar. And I don't blame her, I would too. And in the
Mhm.
morning, they find the White Hart, but Rhaenyra says, "Don't kill it. Don't kill it. Let's
Leave
just
it.
leave it."
See it, say nothing.
Yup.
See something, say nothing.
Yup. And then Rhaenyra shows up back to the camp covered in blood, and
Yep.
Sir Criston Cole is looking at her like, hubba hubba.
He 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 knows what he wants.
Get to the end of the episode, and Otto is trying to get Aegon on the throne. Then we get to a
Yes.
point where Viserys and Alicent are talking, and she brings up the idea that Rhaenyra should think it's her idea that she's going to be getting married. Yeah, the Stepstone War is going bad, and that Viserys should do something because Alicent thinks it's a good thing to do for the kingdom, and she still has the good intentions in her heart for everyone.
She does. Yes.
He sends reinforcements, and Daemon is like,
he
I'm gonna kill.
reacts he reacts rationally. He's very
And
rational.
he kills the messenger, which
Mhm.
sends a message. And Damon is Damoning, and he
Damon's gonna do what Damon's gonna do.
Damon's gonna do what Damon's got to do, and he basically John Wick style takes out all of the crab men and
Single-handedly.
single-handedly takes out all of the crab men. And but we do also meet the new dragon Sea Smoke, who did help.
We love
And
sea
at the end of
smoke.
the episode, it ends with him basically. Make sure I didn't write anything else. Yeah. And at the end of the episode, it basically ends with him going, "Oh, okay, I won that," with heavy breathing, and he's exhausted.
He's tie tie. He's eepy, but he killed it literally.
Slade, literally.
Literally slayed.
So that is the summary for episode 3.
Whew. Well, what an excellent recap that was.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I mean, so many different things happen in this episode. It's kind of crazy to think that when you're like reviewing it, that the whole event with the stag or the white heart is
Mhm.
happening, and then also the crab feeder. Like that's like it's like it seems like two separate episodes. So I'm like, oh yeah, that's in the same episode. It's so that's and I always am shocked by how quickly they ended the war with the crab feeder. Like I know it's been several years, literally, but to us, it's only we've only known the crab feeder for like what 3 episodes, and now he's dead.
Mhm.
Just it just
To
happens
be
really
honest,
fast.
give me a Red Bull and a sword and a shot of tequila. I can end
Well,
it.
I will. I will take care of this for free. I could take care of this for free.
Just give me a
Oh
Red
my
Bull
gosh.
tequila, and I can do what Damon did.
And it's done. It's done. So, I mean, for real though. So, I'll get into. Should I start with my ice or should I start with my fire?
I wrote fire first on my nose, so start with
Okay,
your fire.
okay. I will do fire. Okay, first, of course, Harwin Strong. I've shared my feelings on this subject matter. I don't think I need to recap that. But yeah. Anyways, second, Sea Smoke is honestly the coolest dragon name I've heard thus far. I mean, if I had to name a dragon, Sea Smoke is pretty damn cool. I might take that. I'm not gonna lie. I thought it was a really beautiful dragon too. And Lenor killed it as a dragon rider. Little
Oh,
little
Lanor
13-year old
Valerian Slay.
little literal slay. He's like what, 13, 14 at this point?
He's gotta
Maybe.
be, or I think he's
Yeah,
close to Rhaenyra's age, maybe.
yeah, so around that time, and he like, yeah, he's the one that's being the dragon rider to completely end the war with the crab eater. Like,
Mhm.
dude, I mean, literally amazing. My other fire, Damon. I mean, he's so real for his reaction. I mean, listen, don't shoot the messenger, like you said, literally, don't shoot the messenger. But he's so, I mean, he's kind of real for what he did. I mean, we've all been there before when we get that text message and we're like, wow, it's done. I just, I love him. He's such a great source of drama. But yeah, him just going totally ham and AWOL and just annihilating this army in like what, 5 minutes flat, and it's like, well, you could have done that at the beginning, my dude. Why did it take you 15 years?
Why didn't we think of this in the first
Why
place? But
didn't we think, literal Red Bull and a shot of tequila? He
well, also
boom cleared house.
you're not a younger sibling, but I think that had something to do with it, to where he's
Oh
like, I
yeah,
don't need
yeah.
my brother's help. I
No,
got
I don't
this.
know. Literally,
F my brother. I don't need him.
I don't need anybody. I just yeah, I have mad I just love him. He's so funny to me. What else did I say? Rhaenyra in blood looking like an insane badass after slaughtering the hog, especially when everyone knows that Kristen Cole was there with her and yet she's the
Mhm.
one that killed the pig. I think even says more. But I just love that moment. I love how Harwin looks at her, that smile he gives her and everything, and I just he's such a mood. But like I love that moment for her because I mean, like, talk about the worst weekend ever, having to celebrate your father and your stepmother, who used to be your best friend, and she's pregnant with their second, and it's all your friends and relatives who just talk crap about you all day long. I mean, yeah, it feels pretty damn good to walk up into the camp with a complete success, and not even have to say a word. She didn't have to say anything. She just had to walk through, and it just said so much. And I love that for her. Um, so I really loved that. I think that kind of wraps up my fires. I have other things about other things, but let's hear your fire.
So this is my least favorite episode of
The silence.
of this season. I do have some things that I liked, but I don't know. So for my fire, I do have that scene with Rhaenyra
Yes.
where she's coming up with the blood and what we just talked about, and she's being a bad bitch. And then
Yo.
Sir Christian Cole is still a good guy, so after all,
Yeah,
hubba hubba.
at this point, he is very lovable. He's
hmm
very lovable. He's great at this point. Yeah, and I
And
do love I love the relationship between the two of them.
mhm.
The authenticity between it is hard to come by in Game of Thrones, and I really love that. And it just makes it suck that it's just gonna completely fall apart. But anyways, sorry,
Yeah,
continue.
I really like their dynamic. I can really feel
Yeah.
the chemistry between the two
Yes.
actors,
Oh yeah.
and I really think like I wish we could have gotten them together
I
a little
know.
longer, not even as just a couple, but just seeing them be best friends. I
Yeah, even as
think
friends
that would
at
be
this
really
point. I
interesting.
mean, yeah, I mean he gives her great advice, she gives him great advice. I mean, it's not, I mean, there is chemistry there, but they don't like jump on it as soon as they can. Like they build a relationship first, and that's what is so unique, I think, about it. But yeah, it makes me so sad that it falls apart.
I think they have really good chemistry
Hmm.
for each other. And then another one that I had, it was the symbolisms between Rhaenyra and Aegon in this a little bit. So,
Oh, let's hear
in the
this.
beginning, Rhaenyra is talking to her dad about the kids and stuff and all that, and Rhaenyra goes, God, but I can't remember the line. I think she said something like, "Well, I don't like children. They sound like bores to me anyway." And then Aegon goes, he makes a little like ah ah. He makes like a little like goo goo gaga noise, and I thought that was funny.
He's like, I would also like to comment on this.
She's like, "They sound like boars." Or what she say? It was like a dying boar or something like that. It was
Yes,
something like that.
yes, yeah, yeah, something along those
And then it just
lines.
cuts to Aegon like goo goo ga ga ga. So I thought that was really funny and a good
uh, Very
symbolism
realism,
comedic
yeah.
thing.
Yes, very comedic, yes, but also does make a point.
And then another thing I really did like was that Alison Hightower is dressed like Fiona's mom from Shrek the Third with the red dress and a little hairnet thing.
I'm so glad. And not only does she have, because seeing her in red is so shocking. Like rewatching it and seeing her wear red, it's crazy to
Mhm.
me because I only associate her with green. But once she started wearing green, green looks much better on her anyways. But when she's only wears her hair down mostly, or if it's up, it's very and it's done in a very regal way, but not in a way like that. Like she loses the hairnet as she also evolves to wearing green. So it's a total fashion upgrade. But like I seeing her in the red dress and the hairnet, I was like, man, the people who dressed her, not the costume designers, but like her handmaids that are helping her
Mhm.
dress and stuff like that. I'm like, who let her out of the house looking like this? What is happening?
I think it was maybe to make her look a little motherly, just because she's
Oh,
heavily pregnant. I don't know if that was
damn.
the design choice or not,
Yeah.
but to me, it made me think of a mother from a cartoon movie. So, I think that was a part of it. And also, Allison has been wearing red because she married into the Targaryen
Right.
family,
Right.
so she wants to be a part of that, you know,
At least she's
lineage line
trying. At
as
least
of
she's
right
trying
now.
now. Yeah, as of right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's
those
crazy seeing her go from red to green. How she looks is completely different.
yeah.
It's completely different. But yeah, sorry, go ahead.
You're good. Those are all of the fires I had. So if you want to get into any ice.
I have a few. Um, I have a couple. Um, One of them in big letters is foot fetish because he has now entered our lives, and I'm not too thrilled about it. I can't tell if this is a real, like, in terms of like ice, but we didn't get the wedding between Viserys and Allison, and part of me wishes we got to see that. What are your thoughts on this?
I know it's a deleted scene
Right. So why? So
because
yeah,
they have the costumes and stuff and everything, and there's also a scene of Rhaenyra helping Allison get ready for
Allison
the
get ready for the
wedding,
wedding. Yeah.
like she did with her coronation. So I think I don't know. That's like I think the House of the Dragon writers were like, we need to get through this pretty quickly, and I don't think they wanted to add it in, but I think that it would have. I think it should have stayed,
Yeah,
personally.
you think it should have stayed? I think so too. Especially that scene between her and Rhaenyra, I think would add a lot more depth to their relationship and to their characters. That
Mm,
that's a very tense moment. That's a very emotional moment that I would like to see how they interacted at that moment. But yeah, I wish they had included it. But yes, that was one of them. What else did I say? Oh, the relationship between Allison and Rhaenyra falling apart. Honestly, it's so hard to watch and see because if it weren't for where they were and what has happened, the circumstances that they are in, they would have been the best of friends, and they didn't, I hate that where they are and who they're surrounded with completely tears them apart. It sucks. It really does. And so we talked about it earlier how Rhaenyra doesn't kill the White Hart. What do you think her motivation behind that is? Because I have a theory, but I don't know if it's like 100%. Like I don't think ever no one really knows why. But what do you think?
I think she just wanted to show it mercy. like she already took her anger out on the boar, so I think
Ooh,
it
that's
was
a good
just
point.
a more of like a like, after you have a good cry, you go, "Ooh," or that breathe
Yeah,
after a really good cry. I felt like that probably helped her, and I think if she didn't kill the boar before, I think she would have killed the white hart. But I think that just really helped her
yeah.
mentally, so I think that she just showed it mercy, and also I think it was something that the writers were showing that Rhaenyra can show mercy,
Ooh,
not
that's a good point
just,
too.
be like Daemon and go out and kill someone
Yeah,
just
she
because you hate
won't.
them, you know?
Right. That's a good point too. That's a really good point because so I was really curious. I did some research into what the like stag means in terms of the books, and I guess we can talk more about this and when we do the consult the text.
Mhm.
But I do know that for the most part, the stags is supposed to represent power, grace, something along those lines. And I do think that falls into line what you just said, that she can show mercy, like they're kind of kindred spirits in a way. They're one in one. But I was also thinking, so in terms of her relationship with Allison and how it's deteriorated, but that you can see that there's still a want to reconnect in their eyes. Like, like they're mad at each other, but like it's still like, you can still see that there's love there. Even though they say shitty things to each other sometimes. But I was wondering if part of the reason why she didn't kill the stag is because her killing it would say a lot about lineage and who is right for the throne, right? Because whoever kills it is royalty, is like chosen by the gods or whatever. And I wonder if she didn't kill it so that way she also didn't just like totally upshow Allison in that way. Like I feel like seeing the stag was enough for her to be like, oh, I understand that I am chosen personally. I don't need it to be verified with other people, kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was wondering if she did it in a way also to kind of spare Allison's feelings. I don't know. That might be a little far off, but what do you think?
Maybe. Yeah. Um, I didn't think about it like that, but maybe it could be a way to spare Allison's feelings, but also right now Allison doesn't want her son on the throne
That
as
too.
she does. Later on. So personally, I think if Rhaenyra killed the boar and brought it back, killed the boar, killed if Rhaenyra killed the White Hart and brought it back,
Hmm.
I think that would have helped her claim to the throne more.
Yeah,
That's
and so
personally what I would have done if I was her.
right, so like it's just such an interesting choice that she didn't do it.
Mm,
And so yeah, I mean, like honestly, it's like that's the the white stag is actually the blue verified check mark. it's,
yeah.
it's getting, and she was like, I'm gonna go get that. I mean, because that would pretty much convince most of the court because everyone's hella superstitious around here. And so something like that would really just solidify her claim. So it's so crazy that she didn't, but I really do think I think you're 100% correct. It shows her mercy and her kindness and her, well, her ability to be kind at this point. I don't know what happens in the future, but I'm sure she makes a few mistakes. Um, but we still love her and we go listen anyways.
Well, we can even take her mercy if, we rewind a few episodes. Rhaenyra didn't immediately go to war. Like
That's true, she
before her
didn't.
son died, she tried to handle it like, "No, we can talk. We'll
We can
talk
talk this
about it.
through. Yeah.
I'm not gonna take my dragons and fire on y'all, but I'll come back." So maybe that has a connection to it somewhere, but who knows?
Who knows? I think that's actually a very good point. I love that. Okay, cool. All right. Anyways, moving on to my last ice. It's Viserys. This is the hardest. So this isn't my least favorite episode of the season. I think no wait. No wait. This is my least favorite. No wait, what did I say? I said that
You said the next one is released, episode
the next
4.
I might be wrong about that now. I don't know. Okay, I'll have to rethink that. Anyways, rewind. This episode makes it really hard to like Viserys, like very, very hard. And I understand like he is struggling, and I get it. You lost the love of your life, you lost your son. It's very, very hard. But him like getting drunk and just like being an idiot, it's so hard to watch. And then like also when he can't kill the stag, that's just such a difficult scene, and it's so it's really hard to watch, and it's just and then he has that talk with Alicent on the bonfire at the bonfire, and he's like, I don't know what to do about lineage, and or well, like he's like, I want Rhaenyra on the throne, but like he just, I don't really remember what he said, but he just him being just not supporting Rhaenyra when she needs support, not not doing the things that he should be doing, and watching him just spiral out of control because I guess he can because he's the king. It's just hard to watch, and it's kind of like I don't know. At this point, it's been, I mean, you
It's
would
been
think that
three
he,
years.
it's been 3 years. You would think that he'd be like, okay, I understand you can mourn your wife and your child for the rest of your life. I am not going to take that away from you at all. But you have a daughter here with you who is struggling, and she needs you. And I don't know. It's hard to watch. So I end up loving Viserys. He ends up being one of my favorite characters because he's
He's
so
such a complex
because he's so
character, like everyone in
complex.
this
But
world, you know?
yeah, exactly. It's really hard to watch in this episode. It's hard, but and it's crazy that he and Allison have 2 kids by now. Like I just like God, that happened so freaking fast.
There's also another thing I noticed that, like, did you notice Rhaenyra is, like, on the council now? Because
Yes,
she's the heir to the throne, no longer carrying cups or whatever.
yeah, yeah, cupbearer.
But I do feel like that if Viserys really had, like, his mind screwed on right, he wouldn't have yelled at her. He would have looked at
Yes,
her and been like, girl, we're gonna handle this later, and made her stay to make those political connections she needs to make for when
right,
she
because
needs to
she's
become queen.
when she
Because all
becomes
she
queen,
does is just
absolutely.
insult people and then dip. So that's not really doing
I mean,
anything
it's
for her
real,
ego.
right? She's so real for it though. She's gonna tell it like it is and then go. But yeah, yeah. So those are my ices. So what are yours?
Yeah, because for my eyes, I did write Viserys being a bitch.
We'll cut to the chase. We'll say it like it is and leave.
You know, with all the points you made, him not being able to kill the stag, getting drunk, yelling at your daughter,
Ugh.
all of that. Another one is Alison Hightower in the carriage scene telling Rhaenyra that her birth went okay and it went fine when she was at her mother's Rhaenyra's mother's funeral
I know, I know.
with the dead baby. So that kind of rubbed she didn't mean the ill intention
No, and it's
of
just
it,
like,
but I was just like, it made me go, girl.
yeah, I feel like if they were still friends, like if she were not married to Viserys, say she got married to someone else, had a baby, and they're in the carriage and they're talking, it's a different situation. She's not married to Viserys, and she said that. I feel like Rhaenyra would have been like, excuse me, how my mom died and how
Yeah.
my grandmother died, and she would have been like, oh yeah, I meant is that she was like, I meant to bring you comfort, and that I understand now that that doesn't come across that way, and I do like you're right, your trauma's valid, essentially. um, but because of the situation that they're in, it makes it so much worse. It makes it so much worse.
Especially also since Rhaenyra's uh, grandmother and great grandmother also died in childbirth. So that's and she knows how they all died just because it's recent. And I think that she's
Right.
terrified.
I mean, who wouldn't be? I mean,
So that
they've talked about how the woman's child bed is her battlefield, and good
mhm.
God, is it? I mean, she has every right to be terrified. Every right to be terrified. And I can't believe she ends up having 3 kids. You know what I mean?
She has 6.
She has what? Oh well, we haven't gotten there yet. Okay. Anyways, Anyways, continue.
And then another one I have, Otto Hightower. We're not shocked about this.
No,
I wrote that Otto Hightower bitch.
bitch.
I just don't like him. He's not a very likable character. The one thing I did kind of like about him in this episode is that he was like, okay, but what if Rhaenyra marries Aegon? Like, that's the only real reason, like, actual concept that I think could work to make peace between everyone.
Right.
You know, because Targaryen siblings have married each other for centuries. I mean, Rhaenyra's grandparents are siblings, so I do think
Yeah.
that it could work. You know, um, so that was one little thing, and another. I had a hard time just really liking the characters in this episode.
That's
Like
fair.
it was really hard for me to root for them. I guess the only person I was rooting for was maybe Damon killing the crab
Yeah.
people. But other than
Slay.
that, those are like kind of all my vices.
Those are good ones. Those are good ones. Okay. Let me see. Are any of these applicable to our next segment, or do I need to mention them now? Um, we mentioned it earlier, but Rhaenyra playing her angsty music on loop was very iconic. It kind of reminded me a little bit of like Mean Girls whenever like Regina would like just like lounge in her room and like listen to music on loop and like her mom would come in and be like, "Do you want anything like snacks?"
And
you
Alice
know?
is the mom. When your mom best friend checks on you.
Yeah, literally. Childbirth isn't that bad.
Oh.
Girl, BFFR. Oh my god. Let's see. Oh, I also wrote Lannister jump scare. forgot, I forgot that they made an appearance in this, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, this is the same universe. Duh. Anyways,
Yeah, the
it's just
Lannister dude was like, "Hey, Rhaenyra, I got a big dick. How about we get together?"
eyebrows, eyebrows, eyebrows.
Yeah.
He was like, listen, you and me together forever, unstoppable. He he carved their initials into a tree and everything. He had it all set up
My man was ready
forever.
to ride the dragon. He
He
wanted
was
to he wanted a taste of that fire and blood.
he was ready to go. Oh my god.
He's a creep.
But yeah, no,
You
he's
don't
yeah. Don't good call on her for swiping left, saying bye. Um, so what else did I say? Okay, that's pretty much it. Okay, sorry. Go ahead, and we can move on to the next segment.
And then now we're going to get into the next segment of Consult the Text, to where if there's anything from the show or books that relates to the show. Oh my god. Ugh. Okay, so now we're going to consult the text, to where if we see anything from the show or books related to the show, basically. So one of the ones that I noticed, I had to Google this actually.
Ooh,
Um, what is that? Where did I put that note?
researcher over here.
Researcher. Okay, so one of the things that I actually had to Google to look this up was that I remember when the show first came out, someone was like, this actor has been in Game of Thrones and now they're in House of the Dragon. Um, you won't know who he
What?
is. He was in season
Wait.
1, episode 4, and he played a knight.
Oh my god.
And then in this one, he's Jefferson Hall, and he's one of the people talking on the council or whatever at the party.
Shut up. How did I not hear about this?
And I saw that on Twitter like a long time ago. And
Why?
I was like So what does this mean for Game of Thrones? Is he a descendant?
Oh,
So
that's a great way to cover it. I was thinking like alternate universe.
yeah.
This is this is
If we
just an
start seeing
episode of
Emilia Clarke, guys, we gotta start.
this is actually just an episode of Loki or what's another show where it's like all the same
They're gonna
characters.
call the TVA real quick.
You can
Michael
lose a
O'Hara
tail.
is gonna come in.
Hey guys, it's a
Hey
no no.
guys, hey guys, I'm with Oscar Isaac and I have a big ass. I need to tell you guys that one of you is not supposed to be here.
So
Someone's about to have a
sorry.
canon event. It's not you.
Oh my god. Yeah, this is actually the sequel to Across the Spider-Verse.
It's a prequel, actually.
Oh yeah, actually, you know what? You're so right. Okay, so what was the actor's name? Do you know?
Um, I wrote down the character's name. I don't think I wrote
Oh,
down the actor.
what's the character's
The character's
name?
name is Jefferson Hall.
Jefferson. Sir Adam. Okay, hold on. Joffrey. Oh yeah, I also got triggered when I heard that. I don't see it. The Clubfoot Strong. Okay, I don't see him listed in the credits, but okay, I'll have to look him up later because this is fascinating. But tell me everything.
That's it.
Oh, so they never came back with the explanation.
No.
So it's left unsolved.
HBO said not my problem, like the Starbucks cup. So he's just another Starbucks cup incident, I think.
Did you know there's a I love Family Guy. So I watch a lot of Family Guy. There is a cutscene where they're like, "This is as bad as when the Starbucks cup premiered on Game of Thrones," and it cuts to like a bunch of Starbucks cups like having like a throwing like a watch party. He's like, "There's me! I just showed up on the screen." They're like, "Oh yay, good job, buddy!" He's like, "What's the internet saying about it?" And they like, pull out their phones, and they're like, "They love it." Anyways, no, you're so right. Yeah, he's probably just a Starbucks cup incident. But I think now with this paired with Starbucks cup, I think we can confirm can is confirmed here right now at the podcast of Targaryen Realness that this is actually a multiverse show in
Real.
some form. Confirmed. Confirmed.
I mean, how did Daenerys get Starbucks?
How else did she do it?
How else did she do it?
She time jumped. She couldn't function today without her coffee.
And I don't blame her.
I don't blame her either. That was also when everyone's like, "Ooh, Jon Snow, I love you." It's like, the mother of dragons is literally right there, right
So,
there.
Jon Snow, when I catch you, I'm gonna kick your
How'd you
ass
get my
so hard.
address? How'd you get my address? Don't worry about it.
When I catch Show Jon Snow, he's gonna be not saying winter's coming anymore. He's gonna be like, Ray's coming and she's a bitch.
It's Jover for him. It's Jover.
It's, I'm gonna Jakara's his ass.
Bye.
And then another thing I also noticed was that, well, I also said the white heart as a symbol of royalty, and we talked about that. And then
Hmm.
that scene where Viserys was making fun of people while being drunk, it made me think of when King Robert would make fun of people when he was drunk in season 1 of
Oh
Game of
my god.
Thrones. That gave me a little PTSD to that.
You're so right. How did I not make that connection? You're brilliant. Yes. Yes. That is such a good parallel, actually. Yeah. They're very akin to another.
I think they would be BFFs.
They're actually two suburban dads who just go to the bar every night to
I mean,
blow off steam.
Robert is a descendant of Viserys, so yeah.
So which okay, Robert's a Baratheon, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so when I was researching the stag, I came across this comment that was talking about the history of a stag being on somebody's house crest and where the stag lineage comes from.
Mhm.
And it got real complicated in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't pay too much attention to the beginning because I don't know enough lore about Aegon the Conqueror. I really need to study more about that. That's on me. But what did tickle the brain was they brought up how the Baratheons, their crest has a stag on it, I think. And it was talking about the irony of Targaryens hunting for stags because apparently Baratheon and Targaryen bloodlines tend to cross a whole bunch. Like
Yeah.
they tend to be big fans of each other. And so I also thought that was interesting about the stag. So that was my little tidbit. There was something at the beginning about it coming from original family that was conquered by, or like, I don't know if they were like completely killed by Aegon the Conqueror, but something happened there where there was like maybe just a few left and then they renamed themselves and then they became the Baratheons. But there's more to it. But I just saw that comment and I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, no, that is blah, blah, blah. Yeah, no, that is interesting.
Ah, bah, bah, bah.
I agree. I agree about that. And then another thing I did write down was that I noticed that uh, deer boar, whatever you want to call it, that the stag that Viserys was killing, it kind of died like Emma. It was tied up and it got stabbed.
Oh, oh
I
my
don't
God.
know
Wait. Is that
if
why he
that's
was
just
is
I don't
that
know
why
if
he was wasted the whole episode?
maybe I don't know. I don't think he's smart enough to realize that personally.
It's not that deep for him. Okay.
I just think
No,
he
the
was drunk because he was like, I don't want to deal with these people anymore.
I mean, who would blame him? But also help Rhaenyra. Come on, man. But like I also think it's so funny that they're like, oh, the king is such a good hunter and he's hunting. Then they're literally just like serving it to him on a plate. And all he has to do is jab the stag correctly, which you can do when you're sober.
Mm.
And all you have to, and it's like, oh, yay. Oh, all right, my liege, you hunted this animal yourself. Like, it's crazy. I'm like, he didn't do anything. What are you talking about? So easy.
But yeah, I noticed it died like Emma. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but Viserys is great at killing things that are tied up, I guess. Anyway,
It's not funny. It's not
it's
funny.
not it's not
This is
funny, but
this
it's
is
kind of
not
funny.
funny.
And everyone, that concludes this week's episode of House of Targaryen Realness. And please don't be shy to hit us up on our social medias. We are on Instagram and TikTok.
Woo.
And don't be shy to leave us a 5-star review. And
We want you to send a raven full of 5 stars straight to us. Please and thank you.
we would be pleased and thankful. It is the season of giving, so don't be shy to give us something for free.
Stormbrook.
The dragons danced,
And
and
we
we
watched.
watched!